You've been working really hard on identifying the main ideas in your biography, identifying supporting details that tell more about that main idea or those main ideas. You've also listed important events and dates in your important person's life. And now you're ready for the last part of your project planning guide. This lesson is going to show you how to choose a text feature to include on your poster and take notes on it. You should be ready to turn in your entire project planning guide within the next 2 days following this lesson. Remember, the grading rubric asks you to include at least one other text feature, and it needs to be correct. So this lesson is going to remind you about what the following text features are right here: photos and captions, illustrations and captions, fact boxes, diagrams, maps, and glossaries. So you're going to choose one of these. Like I just said, today's goal is I can choose a text feature to include in my project that will provide more details about my important person and take notes on the information that I want to include. So, for example, if you choose diagram or map, you do not actually have to draw that diagram or map today. All I want you to do is select that that's the text feature you want to do, and then write what your plan is. I'll show you at the end of this lesson. Let's review what text features are. Text features are things that are included in nonfiction text that help the reader to better understand the topic. Something that you often see in books are photos or illustrations, and then captions. Captions are the words down below, sometimes off to the side or even above, that tell more about or explain the photo or the illustration. Fact boxes are boxes that include, well, facts or additional information about your topic. Oftentimes, they will also relate to the picture or the subheading and other text features that are on that same page. So you can see right here it says, "Did you know?" and then it gives more information about the youngest person to win medals. For your project, you might include interesting information about your person if you choose to do a fact box. You might do a fact box that includes information about the time period that your person lived in, or even lists the inventions, honors, or awards that your person received. A diagram is a picture or an illustration that has labels. For this project, you might label the parts of an invention or a model that your important person created, or you might label a scene or an event that occurred. A map shows the location of things or places. This map here shows the number of tornadoes that occur across the United States. For this project, you might choose to include a map in order to show where your person was born or where your person died. You might create a map to show a route that your person traveled. For example, I'm doing my project on Harriet Tubman, so I might choose to include a map to show the route that Harriet Tubman traveled between the North and the South to help slaves escape from slavery. Or you might include a map to show an area that your person worked or lived in. A glossary is an alphabetical list of important words and what the words in your book mean. You might choose to include a glossary for words that are not commonly used now. For example, you might have an inventor that invented something that has been replaced by newer technology. If you plan to talk about that invention in your presentation, you should probably include a glossary to explain what that word means. You might choose to include a glossary on your poster for words that describe a specific time period or a situation, words that are specific to your presentation and content. And you might include a glossary to explain the meanings of inventions, laws, or groups that your person created or participated in. Now it's your turn. What I want you to do is to choose which of the text features, just choose one text feature that you want to include on your poster. Either a photo and a caption. Remember, that's a picture with words that tell about the picture. A fact box, which is a list of interesting facts and information. A diagram, which is a picture with labels. A map shows a place, or a glossary, which lists words in alphabetical order and meanings. Right now, I want you to write it on your plan. It will look like this. I want to include a glossary, so I'm going to write the other text feature that I plan to include is a glossary. And in this empty space below, you're just going to write what you plan to include. So in my glossary, I plan to include the words blank. Go ahead and just do this now. Choose which text feature you want to include and write it on the line. Hit pause and do that now. When you're done, hit play. Now that you've chosen your text feature, what you're going to do is write notes down below. So I chose to include a glossary. The two words that I'm going to include as a part of my glossary are Underground Railroad and overseer. Remember, a glossary also includes definitions or meanings. So for Underground Railroad, I put people and paths that helped slaves escape from the South. For overseer, I wrote what that is. It's the person who is in charge of slaves. Let's say you chose map. Down below, you don't actually have to draw a map. You just have to write what your plan is. I will draw a map of the United States and routes that slaves used to escape slavery on the Underground Railroad. Page 15 in my book shows a good example. So when I'm ready to draw the map on my poster board, when I look at my plan, I can remember what I wanted to do and what page in my book to look at for help. Go ahead and do that now. You should have already chosen which text feature you want to include. You're going to write it here, and then just write your notes down below about what you plan to do. Please feel free to restart this video and fast forward to see about the text feature that you chose. Also, remember, all of the text features are on our side wall. You may get out of your seat and go to the wall to read and review those text features.